We're about 1 mile down from where the North Elkhorn and the South Elkhorn Creek come together, about 19 miles from where this creek ends in the Kentucky River.
There's been a unique feature here for a long time.
There has been this Lowhead Dam or Weir Dam here on the Elkhorn Creek. It's not anything you want to try to run with your kayak. Unfortunately, there's been people that have been trapped in it. There have been people that have drowned at this dam here before as well. And it is definitely an obstruction in the way from one of the prettier parts of the creek. We call this stretch of creek the Palisades because it does have 250-foot bluffs along the way. These Lowhead dams or Weir dams are dangerous because they create a recirculating hydraulic, or as boaters we call them holes. Holes naturally occur on rivers in all sorts of ways, but when you have a perfect hole because it's built by man and it's linear across, it creates a hydraulic which you can't get out of. And you notice in the dam all the water that's boiling, anything above that boil line up to the dam is the keeper, and if you get into that, it's not going to let you back out again. A life jacket may not even help you. The water is so strong wanting to push you down, the life jacket's not going to be buoyant enough to keep you up. As we see popularity in kayaking increasing, that's one of the reasons we get more concerned about these dams, because newer paddlers are not as educated to the dangers out there.
Jim Beam and Centauri is going to go through a process of removing this dam.
Seeing them come out and being removed is really just a phenomenal thing. It's been a long time coming, and I can't say enough good things about Beam Centauri, Kentucky Fish and Wildlife, Federal Fish and Wildlife assisting this project, and really our local leaders. It's really been a team effort. As we've seen issues crop up on the creek, it always brings us back to the table to say what can we do to make things safer, and all those partners have really worked well together for this good common goal.
This facility was built in the 1900s, and this dam was built early 1900s is what we recall, based off of some distilling and maybe for some cooling water. Then for recent years, it's been used as a fire suppression system for our fire alarm systems.
With fire suppression, you need a big body of water to quickly pull a lot of gallons out if there's an issue, right?
Correct.
So this dam provided you that opportunity to get some depth.
Yeah, if it wasn't for this dam, we wouldn't have enough flow in the water system to really provide relief for the warehouses and for the people that are in the factory. So we worked with the city to be able to pull water from the city water at the top of the hill, and we got the capital funding last year to be able to pipe that water in.
So you guys just last year found a new source for water for fire suppression. So 1 year later, this dam's coming out. That's actually really quick.
It's a joint effort, I think, not only from Beam Centauri, their commitment to the environment and the community, but also the entire Frankfort community and Fish and Wildlife, Canoe Kentucky, everyone that we've been involved with has been really receptive of pushing this through as quickly as possible.
Well, as a fisherman, I know that this is going to make more of this stream accessible and better for fish spawning. So it should just be a win-win for everyone involved.
It's impressive to watch these guys take them out. They're out there in an excavator, belly deep in that machine in the water. They can't really see what's in front of them. They're feeling around. They're dealing with construction from 1800s, early 1900s. It's wooden cribs, stacked rock. They've come back and they've been repaired, and they may be capped with concrete, rebar reinforced. You got to get access to the dam. Most of these dams are fairly remote, and the access is pretty rough, so they got to put in roads to get there. Once the roads are established and they get the base to work off of, they'll come out there with their excavators, track hose, and they'll start notching the dam. They've got to slowly bring that pull down. You don't want this big gush of water coming down. So it's a slow process. And if you go watch one, you're kind of like disappointed because you want to see like it explode and blow up in this tidal wave, but this is not how it works. So it's a slow process. They notch it, they slowly bring the dam down, back down to the bedrock, to the base of the stream. And then once they get to that level, then it comes into reshaping the bottom, developing that riffle shoal, that complex. Another component is to making sure there's navigable channels for our paddlers to be able to safely get through this site until nature can kind of move it around and reshape it the way Mother Nature wants it.
Well, David, we've talked a lot about the benefits of this dam being removed to kayakers, tubers, people floating the river. But we maybe haven't even discussed the biggest benefit, and that's to all the animals and fish that live here in this stream.
There's a huge benefit to the paddling community, without a doubt. But the other aspect of the dam removal is the benefit to our wildlife, our fisheries specifically. And what the dam has acted like is it's been a barrier that's been there since the early 1900s. It dams that pull up and it segments the creek. So you prevent the movement of a lot of our sport fish that people come to Elkhorn Creek for, our smallmouth, our rock bass, a lot of our channel catfish. It's a barrier, they can't move, so we get these segmented populations. We got a segment down here, which is really good. Then we got this dead section because it's not the right habitat. These dams act as a big sediment trap, slows the water down, sediment falls out, covers the bottom with mud. We get poor water quality because it's not flowing, and DO gets low. Again, a lot of our stream fish cannot survive in that situation.
Tell me a little bit about how sediment traps affect spawn.
All of our fish like these nice rocky, gravel, sandy substrates, but when they get covered in fine clays and mud, they can't get through that layer to get back to the hard substrate for them to be able to successfully lay their eggs and spawn, reproduce, and ultimately provide fish for the future moving forward.
If you're on Elkhorn Creek and you're fishing it, when you get into those big slack water long pools, those areas I just power through. I don't even fish them. I just go get to the areas where you got some current, some better oxygen levels. That's where the fish hang out. In these rapids again, we've only caught like 1 or 2 fish today that were not right in the current. There he is.
Anybody that fishes a stream, I mean, we're all the same. You're looking for the head of the riffles, the braided channels, the little eddies behind the water willow.
There he is. Got him now?
I think so.
Oh, that's not a bad fish.
No.
And that doesn't exist with the dam. That habitat doesn't exist, those fisheries just don't exist there. So you change the whole species composition. So we're getting it back to stream. That's what people come to Elkhorn Creek for. I mean, we're known nationwide for our smallmouth stream here. We got more of it now. We're seeing those rocky bottoms be cleaned off back down to these substrates we're talking about for spawning that fish prefer. The braided channels are coming back. We're going to see water willows start coming back.
It's going to increase the access for fishermen. It's going to increase the spawning habitat. It's going to be better oxygen content in the water. So all in all, there's really not a downside.
Our goal is that we want people to come out, enjoy our resources. We have a phenomenal resource here with Elkhorn Creek. We want them to be able to come enjoy it, be successful while they're pursuing their fish, and be safe. So I think we've accomplished all that.